How's everybody doing tonight? Sorry, I'm kind of up and moving around. I want to talk to you a little bit tonight about role models. You know, we're supposed to be setting an example for our children on how we want them to live their lives. And you know, my son, who just turned 14, we had a conversation not too long ago about Christ, and he let me know that he was more of a science guy, which I kind of figured. But recently, he's accepted Christ and is actually going to be baptized tomorrow. But it just made me sit down and think, about, one of our main jobs as a parent is to lead our kids and to guide them and to show them who they are supposed to become whenever they become an adult. And I failed in that particular arena. I had a lot of, I harbored a lot of resentments against church whenever I was younger, when my kids were growing up. I did not take them to church. I had my personal reasons, just as I'm sure a lot of you have your personal reasons as well, why you do or don't do something. I always had my moral convictions, and that's something that, never went away from me. But, raising my children in the church and talking to them about God and everything is not something that I did whenever I was raising them. So now as I got older and started letting a lot of the resentments go that I did have, I did start talking to them more and more. And me and Camden had some conversations since he had told me he was, more of a science guy. It wasn't me that, changed his mind or anything. That was God that had worked on him going to Falls Creek this year. And, he made that decision. And I hope and pray that both of my children will raise their family and raise their kids with the same convictions that I had, but do it even in a better way than what I did. We always want something better for our kids than what we had. And, if it's anything that I could pray, for my kids, is that they would be a better parent than what I was or what I am. In that specific area, I'm not taking anything away from myself about, what kind of father I am. But in that particular arena, I really failed. And I hope that my children understand the importance of it, and that they can raise their kids with good morals, and that they associate with the proper people that will help reflect those morals. When we used to live in Hera, Kinsey had this friend, and she wasn't a good friend, just to put it point blank. She was what you would consider a bad kid. And I always had this thought that, well, if Kinsey could spend some time with her, then she would rub off on her friend. Well, it doesn't work that way, all right? Reality of it is we become the people that we associate with. So if you hang out with somebody who doesn't have the same moral convictions as you, does not believe in the same things that you do, then your standards are going to be the ones that lower. And that's exactly what happened with Kinsey. Her standards lowered to what the standards of her friend were, because it's a whole lot harder to drag somebody up than what it is to pull somebody down. All right. So, and I'm not saying that we just take these people and we cast them out of our lives and we never talk to them again. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying day-to-day interactions, and the people that we entrust and we confide in, they need to have those same morals as what we have. They need to have the same belief system that we have. How can somebody give you advice? How can somebody help guide your way if they don't have the same beliefs as what you have? So, the whole thing coming back to, being a role model for your child is going to relate a lot to who are you associating with. Are you putting yourself in a place that where you're constantly trying to pull people up, or are you constantly being pulled down? Or are you in a place where, you are hanging out with the people and associating with the people that are on your same level playing field, to where y'all can walk through it together and you can help each other and you can offer each other insights. And, it's just kind of a big deal. And, with Camden coming to Christ, it's kind of like a, wipe the sweat off your brow type moment that, thank God that it happened, because I sure didn't, help in that process along the way. And, I try every day to be a role model for my children. I try to include the people in their life that is going to be a role model for them as well. Somebody that they can emulate, somebody that they can look up to. So, simply put, take a look at your own life. If you're doing things that you would not approve of your children doing, then maybe it's time to take a second thought. Maybe you're hanging out with the people that you wouldn't want your kids hanging out with. And if that's the case, take a second look at it and really evaluate what you're doing, because you can't evaluate your children's life. You can't help them. You can't encourage them. You can't be what they need for you to be if you're not who you need to be for yourself. That's all I got this time. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great night. Please share the broadcast with your friends if this is something that has helped you, or if this is something that you've liked. Thanks.